Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Tuesday again. Yes, you got two videos from me. And that's because shit jumped off. I had just heard this last night, and I heard it late, so I wasn't gonna get up out of bed and make a video. And I got more information today, so we're going to talk about it. This is something that seems to have been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, but it happened. Sean Combs, P. Diddy. I'm just going to refer to him as P. Diddy or Diddy, because did he do it or didn't he? It's not looking good. So Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested. He was arrested last night, Monday night, in the lobby of the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City. Now, supposedly, after these raids on his mansions in Miami and LA, supposedly he had moved up from Miami because maybe he thought shit was going to jump off, and it did. So he has been living in the Park Hyatt Hotel. And he has been indicted by a federal grand jury. I had heard earlier that they are seeking pre-trial detention. Very smart, because there is a very big chance that he could be a flight risk. I mean, he has his own airplane, so what would stop him? Now, this is being prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. They don't play. They do not play. From what I understand, they have a very high conviction rate, like 97 or 98% conviction rate. These are the guys that went after and convicted Jen Shah from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So they don't play. So he was charged 3 counts. There was racketeering, and they had said that's a RICO charge. I'm going to say schmex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. So here's what happened. They're saying that this was all for these freak-off parties. Listen, I had no idea that the term freak-off party even existed or what it meant, but I found out today. So here's what it was. He would get these women, young women, and he would then get male SMEX workers. He would bring them in, and they would do all kind of like, you know what I'm talking about, all kind of like smexual thing, like all kind of these acts. And then they would film it, and it was basically for like his pleasure. And they had said, the prosecutor had said that in order to like keep them there, his associates would give them like things to keep them there, like drugs or, drinks and stuff like that to keep them there. There was also, I believe they had said that there could be, they didn't say that there was imprisonment, but there could have been, to keep the women and to keep everybody involved there in case there were some type of injuries, like maybe bruises or something from injuries, so that nobody would see this. And then also they were saying that he would use his power to keep the women there, which to me brings back everything that happened with R. Kelly. If you remember, R. Kelly, he would do that. He would find a young woman, and he would find a young woman, and he would make promises of, I can do this for you. I'm in the the record business, and look at me, I'm a legend, and blah blah blah. And he would lure them away from their families and then imprison them, and they couldn't get away. That's what this is reminding me of. So this is what it is. That's a freak off party. There was an indictment. The indictment was 14 pages. Some of the things that were in there was that they claimed that he turned his multifaceted business empire into a criminal empire for him and his associates, where they engaged in kidnapping, arson. Now, the arson part, this had come, I believe that this is something that Cassie had said, allegedly, P. Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car. I mean, I guess he was going to say something, and he blew up his car. There was also physical violence, schmex trafficking, and forced labor. This shit has been, when everything came down from Cassie, I fell down the rabbit hole. This has been decades. If all this stuff is true, this stuff has been going on for a while. So remember that they had raided his mansions. So listen, they raided his mansions, and those searches turned up multiple AR-15 guns, magazines for those guns, evidence of the crimes mentioned in the indictment, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Let me say that last part again. Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. This guy says he's not guilty. You got over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. Who needs that much baby oil? Who needs that much lube? Who needs that much baby oil? No. So listen, that don't sound copacetic. That just don't sound right. That doesn't sound right. So he pleads guilty. Didn't his lawyer come up and say, this smex, it took place. It was all consensual. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. I'm going to tell you what. Here's what I'm thinking. This is not something that they wanted. And I guarantee you, they were probably like, I'm going to sing. I'm going to tell the world. And he's like, not really, because I got you on camera. What you going to do? I can just release this tape. You know, he would probably edit himself out. He probably wasn't even on tape. And talking about he's a good man. He's not perfect. People have made mistakes. Okay, so listen. Remember I said pretrial detention. So they said, listen, no bail. You're a flight risk. He came back with, how about if I give you $50 million? I'll co-sign. My mom will co-sign. My baby's mama will co-sign. My daughter will co-sign. My son will co-sign. I'm also going to I'll put up money from my house in Miami and my mother's house. And then I'm going to offer up the passports of my 5 children. One of which, the last one born, I don't even think that child is that old. So, all that. And the judge was still like, nah. So from what I understand, I think they do have an appeal, and they're going to appeal the no bail. And then if not, then boom, you're back to the detention center. He's being held in a detention center in Brooklyn. And he is away from everyone. I think I had read that this is the same detention center that Ghislaine Maxwell was held in, you know, from the Epstein trial. So, yeah, that's what it is. And then as I was going through and I was reading stuff, I had seen that earlier in last week on September 11th, Dawn Richard from Danity Kane. Remember, Danity Kane was a girl group that was created during MTV's Making the Band. Well, she's now the second person that has talked out against him from that band because Audra Day, she was like, am I saying Audra Day? No, it's not Audra Day. Someone else had been talking about him and did not have good things to say about him. But Dawn Richard, she is suing him. She's suing him on 21 counts of sexual assault, battery, sex trafficking, gender discrimination, and copyright infringement. Like, he ain't never paid her. He stole her ideas, ain't never paid her. Okay, so listen, here's my take on this whole thing. Remember Cassie was the first one. Kudos to that girl, because she came out and she started this ball rolling and was brave enough and courageous enough to come out and tell her story. And so that came out, all these allegations had come out, and then the very next day they settled. And he said, I didn't do it. I didn't do any of this. That's a lie. I didn't do any of it, but I'm going to settle. But I didn't do any of it. So then later on was that video that was released by, I don't know who it was released by, but it was, remember, it was Cassie trying to get away from him, running down the hall of a hotel in LA. He was all half butt naked, you know, in a towel, which he shouldn't be, in a towel, running down the hall, grabbing her and kicking her and hitting her and throwing her up against a wall. It's all out there in the world. Everybody saw what you did. And then he comes out crying. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the only time I did that. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a better person. Listen, when people show you who they are, believe them. Because listen, are we to believe that this person who did that to her in video, and by the way, that's not even the first video that I've seen of him doing that. There was another video I remember that came out when she filed that lawsuit, and she was laying on the floor in a fetal position, like protecting herself, and he's screaming at her, yeah, what, you want more, you, or something like that. No, listen, so we're to believe that all these things that you're accused of doing that you didn't do after we saw how you were towards Cassie. No, no, I don't buy it. I think he did all of this. And here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking these people, because they had said, the prosecutor had said, we're not done investigating this. Diddy is not alone, and there is more to come. So these people these associates who helped him, maybe people who went out and picked up these male sex workers, or associates who gave drugs or bought them, or people who cleaned up after these freak off parties, cleaned up all this damn oil. No. They cleaned up this oil. Or from what I understand, they rented a hotel somewhere, either in Los Angeles or New York, and they ruined it. Like they ruined it. So they cleaned up as much as they could and then paid off the hotel. I'm thinking, honestly, that some of these people are going to be like, listen, I will talk to you. If you give me immunity, I'll talk to you. And they're going to cut a deal. That's what I'm thinking. There's more to this. I'm going to tell you. So that's it. I heard this lesson. I saw this when I was in bed and I was watching TikTok and I thought, oh shit. And then I completely forgot about it until I went back on TikTok and I was like, oh, that's right. And didn't just last year in 2023, they gave him the key to New York City. They took that back quickly. In Miami had done like a proclaimed someday P. Diddy Day. They canceled that with quickness. So there we go. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And I mean, people were like, why was this taking so long? I think they really wanted to make sure that they had all the evidence that they could to make this a strong case. It's the federal government. If they're coming after you, they're not coming after you with just, the bare minimum. They're going to come at you guns a-blazing with all they can get, because they're going to get you, especially the Southern District of New York. They're tough. They're going to get him. So listen, in the comments, let me know what you think about all of this. I honestly, I have the stuff written here. Most of it was just me. I love talking about this kind of stuff, especially if it's pop culture and it's, it's legal stuff like law. Because after listening to Emily D. Baker for so long, I love it. So, okay. If, in the comments, let me know what you guys think. And if nobody told you yet today, I'm done for the day filming. That's it. It's 8:43. So if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world. So it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be safe. If you're someplace where it's super hot, or even if it's not super hot, hydrate. Hydrate often with water, and maybe even a Diet Coke or a iced coffee there, but mostly water. And also, if you're someplace where there's a dangerous situation, whether it is weather related or not, please be mindful, be smart, be safe. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for probably nothing tomorrow. But then Thursday, the Golden Bachelorette. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.